So here's my equation, and I'm going to help you factor using the greatest common factor method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distinguish which one it is, and I'm going to say it's 6. Okay. Now, since every one of these has an x and a y variable, I'm going to take the two smallest of the x and the y's. So I have an x2 and a y4. So I'm going to do x2, y4. Alright, now I'm going to put parenthesis right here. And then I'm going to go this way. And, okay. 6 times 1 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. And then I'm going to do x to the 5th and y squared. You understand how I did that? If I go like this, I'm going to get 10, which is here. Okay. Alright, now, next one. Alright, so I'm going to put a 1 there because 6 times 1 is 6. And x, just a regular x, because, actually no x, because it is that. And no y. So, now I'm going to go on. 6 into 24, which is 4. Sorry about that. Okay, so 4. And then x squared and y, 4 times, let's see. I can put a decimal, so I guess I'll put 1.5. Not sure if that's correct, but, So that is my greatest common factor method. I'm going to show you the difference of squares, of two squares, and mine is 400, which is 20 times 20, and I have an equal x with exponent. Alright, and because I already know how this is a perfect square, I can already set it up. It's very simple, very easy. Okay, you need to set up like that. One will be plus and one will be minus, and 20 go in each. It's that simple. Alright, now to verify my work, I'm going to actually factor it out just to show you that I'm correct. Okay. So, x times x is x squared. X, okay, so it's negative 20x plus 20x, and then positive 20 times negative 20, which is negative 400. And because I have these two right here, they will cancel out, and I am left with x squared minus 400. And that's how you do that. Just a regular trinomial. I have 4x squared minus 28x plus 49. Now, what I want to do is I'll make a list here, and I will say what 28 times 1 and 14 times 2 7 times 3, and I'm all trying to think of what can give me 49. So, now, we have to keep in mind that we have a 4x squared. So, with that said, how usually I do it when there's a 4x squared involved is that I like to put a 2x right there. That is what that is telling me right now. Now, with that said, there's going to be a 2 involved. So, if I'm going to multiply this way, there will be another 2. Okay, so what I have to think about now is 2 times what can give me my answer. Now, the way I want to go about this is by looking here, 2 times 7, this is, okay, I like to do this trial and error, so I'm going to try a couple, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, these are my trial and error ones. Now I'm going to factor these out, and I'm going to show you which one is the correct answer by my factoring out. Factored versions, okay, and I come to the conclusion that my educated guess, the first one, was correct, because the negative 14 minus 14 will give me that negative 28x. So, my other questions, let's take a look at what I did wrong the other times. Not so much, and negative 58. Why is that squared? Anyway, x plus 28. So these were obviously wrong. So when you have a number in front of your first x, you need to really think about how that can affect your list. So, yeah. So the answer is 2x minus 7 squared. I'm factoring by grouping, and what I'm going to do is I have this equation right here, and I'm going to cut it in half. Okay? Now I'm gonna factor these kinda to, so the way I'm do that is I'll do x squared x minus 2, and if you factor that out, it does equal this. Now I'm going to add it, okay, and now I'm going to factor this out, which gives me 4x minus 2. Okay, now you can see that we have something in common. X minus 2, x minus 2. So that makes this very, very easy for me. So x minus 2. And now what we have left, the x squared and the 4, we will join them together, and it will be x squared plus 4. Now, to prove that I'm correct, I'm going to factor this out. X cubed, this way. X, so it'll be plus 4x minus x squared, and then negative 8. It is obviously not in order because the 2x squared goes in front of that, so if I were to rearrange it, it would look like the equation before. I'm going to do the difference and sum of cubes, and this is how I'm going to solve it. I know that the cube root of x cubed is x, and I know if I divide 448 by 7, I'm going to get 64. Okay, now the cube root of 64 is 4. So 64 minus x cubed is the difference of cubes. And now 448 minus 7x cubed equals 7, like this, okay, because the reason I'm doing this is because 7 times 64 is 448, and minus x cubed. So, that's how I do that. Now, to go on, this equals x cube root. Okay, so I'm using the 4, now I'm using the x, which are the first two things that I figured out. And then 4, oh no, not 4x, oopsies. 4 squared plus 4 times x plus x squared. Now I'm going to combine all these terms. You see, I'm going to combine the terms. So now I'm going to get 7. This part stays the same because it doesn't need anything else. Now this part's going to be a little different because I'm going to combine the like terms. 16 plus 4x plus x squared. And that is the answer to differences. Now I'm doing sums. Now, what I want to distinguish is the cube root of 729, which is 9, and the cube root of x cubed, which is x. So, I'm going to just say that A would be equal to 9 and B equal to x, for example, because we're going to use that formula. But the way I use the formula is like this. I don't do the AB. I do, if it's the sum, it's x cubed plus y cubed equals x plus y, x squared minus xy plus y squared. Minus x. Okay, yeah. So that's the sum, and the difference is just the opposite. Alright, so now 729 plus x cubed equals, I'm going to say a plus b, so 9 plus x, can't even figure out where I'm at, okay, 9 plus, yeah, 9 plus x, and then 9 squared, which is 81, minus 9x, alright, because it's minus 9 times x, so it's 9x, and then plus x squared. Now that is my answer to sums.